Most men spend their lives confused, chasing love, validation, and happiness from women, only to end up heartbroken, used, or trapped. But 200 years ago, a philosopher named Arthur Schopenhauer exposed the raw truth about female nature, truth so brutal, most men refuse to accept them. By the end of this, you'll see exactly where you've been deceived and how to finally take back control. So pay attention, because what you're about to hear isn't just controversial, it's the missing key most men will never grasp. Schopenhauer didn't believe in fairy tales. He saw love for what it really is, not a spiritual bond, not destiny, but a biological trick, a ruthless illusion designed by nature for one purpose: reproduction. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When you feel that electric attraction, that obsessive desire, that conviction that she's the one, your brain isn't connecting with her soul. It's calculating, subconsciously assessing fertility, genetic compatibility, survival advantages in women. Their attraction works the same way, just with different priorities. Schopenhauer wrote, "Love is the ultimate goal of almost all human effort. It is more important than anything else in life." But he didn't mean that romantically. He meant it as a trap, a fleeting chemical high that fades the moment it serves its purpose. Think about it. How many men have destroyed themselves for a woman who later walked away without a second thought? How many marriages crumble once the passion evaporates? That's not coincidence, it's nature's design. Women don't choose men based on fairness, loyalty, or even logic. They follow an ancient selection program hardwired to seek status, security, and genetic superiority. A man's devotion means nothing if he can't provide these. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. Women are rarely guided by reason. They are ruled by instinct and emotion. This isn't misogyny, it's observation. Look at dating apps where 80% of women compete for the top 20% of men. Look at divorce courts where commitment is rewarded with financial ruin. Look at history where kings died for mistresses who betrayed them. The pattern doesn't change because the biology doesn't change. Most men believe love is mutual, that if they sacrifice enough, care enough, prove their worth, they'll be rewarded. But Schopenhauer warned, to be loved, one must not be just. But clever women don't fall for nice. They fall for strength, not just physical, but social, financial, psychological. This is why the good guy finishes last, not because he's unworthy, but because he misunderstands the game. He thinks love is earned through service. Women by instinct are drawn to men who don't need to serve. Ever noticed how women lose interest once they've secured a man? How the chase reverses? Schopenhauer called it the tragedy of possession. The thrill isn't in having, it's in conquering. Once the conquest is over, biology moves on. That's why men who cling too hard, who make her the center of their world, inevitably watch her walk away. But here's the twist. This isn't women's fault, it's nature's. And the man who understands this, he stops blaming, he starts strategizing. Schopenhauer's lesson isn't to hate women, it's to see them clearly, to recognize that love isn't a fantasy. It's a negotiation, and the man who negotiates from weakness loses every time. But this is just the beginning, because the next truth, it's even darker. It explains why modern men are being outplayed in every arena, and how to flip the script. Stick around, because what comes next is where most men realize they've been lied to their entire lives. Schopenhauer saw what most men today still refuse to admit. The rules of attraction aren't fair. They aren't logical, and they certainly aren't in your favor while modern society preaches. Quality biology operates on a different set of laws, and the man who ignores this, he's already lost. Here's the brutal reality: women hold the ultimate leverage in relationships, not because they're cruel, but because nature designed them to be selectors. From the moment puberty hits, a woman's value in the sexual marketplace peaks, while a man's must be built through struggle, status, and survival. Schopenhauer put it bluntly: women are suited to being the nurses and teachers of our childhood by the very fact that they themselves are childish, frivolous, and short-sighted. He wasn't insulting them, he was highlighting an evolutionary truth. A woman's youth and beauty are her currency, and she instinctively knows how to spend it. Look around. The average man today is drowning in a paradox. He's told to be emotionally vulnerable while women still chase dominance. He's shamed for wanting traditional masculinity, while strong alphas still dominate dating apps. He's worked to exhaustion providing in a system that rewards him with divorce courts and paternity tests. Schopenhauer warned of this centuries ago. Women are directly fitted for acting as the nurses and teachers of childhood by the fact that they are themselves childish, frivolous, and short-sighted. In a word, they are big children all their lives. But here's what gets dangerous. Modern women haven't just embraced their power, they've weaponized it. Social media has turned attention into an economy, and the average man is the unpaid laborer. He simps, he orbits, he competes for scraps of validation from women who'll never commit to him. Why? Because he's been sold a lie that devotion alone is enough. Schopenhauer saw the trap long before dating apps and the mire Me Too. Women are systematically trained to be incapable of genuine love. This sounds harsh, until you realize what he meant. Female love is conditional. It's tied to utility. A man isn't cherished for who he is, but for what he provides. The moment he stops providing, the love fades. This isn't cynicism, it's survival. Women are hardwired to seek the best possible mate. If a man stagnates, she will resent him. If he falls behind, she will replace him. And modern society, it cheers her on.